good, Ramley? It's your boy, the Rams Titan, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, we'll be going over the top 10 according to executives, coaches, and scouts. If y'all remember in my last reel or short, I posted on Matthew Stafford and him placing at 3. And I'm gonna go over the rest of the position players on quarterbacks and whatever they have. I didn't see the rest of the other positions they posted on. So, and also we're going to be going over something about my channel, an update on it, and also something that I found interesting about, or something I saw earlier. So I wanted to give a little update on that. And then a little bit of Aaron Donald news. There's little updates. It's just a tiny bit of an update. So with that away, guys, remember to like and subscribe. We're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to get earlier access to content. And let's get started, shall we? So the first thing I want to talk about is the channel update. I said before I was going to do fantasy football content, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to back out on it because I also have another hobby that I'm trying to get back into called, or selling Pokemon cards, basically. I used to do it, and I want to get back into it. I should probably never left when I left the first place. So I'm gonna try to get back into it and make content on there. Then I'm gonna have a third thing I'm trying to do for content. It's not that big, but something that I do want to focus on, mostly just to help a friend. So yeah, with all that in mind, I think fantasy football is just gonna be so time consuming for content, because doing all this at the same time is gonna be, or not at the same time, but juggling them, like depending on how it goes, it's gonna be too much. So I'm gonna have to back on that fantasy thing, because I feel like the two other things I'm trying to do is more important than this. Well, for me, but I still like fantasy. I'm still gonna play. I could probably for some fun ideas for Rams content. I could say oh, why Puka should be good, why Kyron should be good, why any of the Rams players should be good for fantasy. That I can do. It's just that overall, the other stuff, it would be too much for me. But I mean, if you guys who ever want to in the comments ask for any advice on that, I wouldn't be hesitant to answer the question as well. So that's one of the big updates. Let's see. All right. Next, we're gonna talk about the little Aaron Donald news that I was talking about. So apparently, because this is coming from let's see, LA Rams Report. Make sure to go subscribe to him. I post him on my Instagram, so you probably know who he is if you follow me on Instagram. He talked about how Aaron Donald is moving from Instagram workouts to football workouts, which makes sense. He's trying to get ready for the season, and that he's probably not be expected to be at training camp, which I mean, it's something that I probably already talked about or expected, because he doesn't like training camp. But yeah, Aaron Donald, I feel like if he's going to do this one last ride, he's going to want to play the full season. So he's just trying to get the best shape as possible, which explains why he went to the Rams facility for a workout. So again, like I said, it's just a really tiny little update. So, and then the other thing that I found interesting was, according to Bill Barnwell, he made a list on every player on the Rams that's worth a first-round pick or more. And according to him, our number one player is Myles Garrett, which it's expected. He's one of the best defensive players at his position. That one event that I talked about, one of my other shorts or reels, when he went to an ESPY event, I don't know if I said that correctly, and he won an award for being the best NFL player, I think it was. And it makes sense. He's a great pass rusher. He's a great player overall. He brings a lot to the team that he's on, especially when he was on the Browns. He was playing from behind most of the time, and he was performing at a high level. So that makes sense. So just to revisit what we gave up for Myles Garrett, we gave up Jared Verse, a 2027 first round pick, a 2028 second round pick, and a 2029 third round pick. A lot of people talk about how this was either a fair trade. Either we won the trade or the Browns won the trade. And I know some people say because Myles Garrett's getting older, that he's not gonna be probably the same, which I don't think that's gonna be the case. I think Myles Garrett's gonna be an elite pass rusher this season. So I'm reading this right now. So like the Rams are no like they're not familiar, or they're familiar with giving up a lot of stuff for trades, as seen in the past when they did with Matthew Stafford. But Bill was talking about how Myles Garrett was like the only player on our team that's worth like more than a first or is worth more first round picks, and he talked about how let me find it. So he talked about Jared Verse, how he's a first round talent and he should be worth the first round pick. And then with the other first round pick we gave up, he's basically counting Jared Verse in that first round pick as 2 first round picks. And then that he should probably hold on, let me read this. So he talked about how all the picks we gave and Verse that we gave up, that's close to 3 first rounders according to him for Garrett. But he talked about the 2029 pick might drop in value a tiny bit, which I mean that could be the case if Garrett plays well for the future as well, which I think he should. Let's see what else. Let me see. Let's see. I'm actually let me pull up some of Garrett's stats real quick. Sorry, I gotta pull up some. I gotta pull some stats real quick. All right, so let's see. So Myles Garrett, this man, like I'm looking at his stats for the previous 4 years. 16 sacks, 14 sacks, 14 sacks, 23 sacks, the setting record. The TFLs, 18, 17, 22, 33. And then his tackles for loss, TKL, I think that's what it means. 60, 42, 47, 60. And his forced fumbles, 2, 4, 3, 3. I mean, the stats say for themselves. He's a really good pass rusher. And honestly, yeah, I can agree why he's rated number 1 for our fantasy value. Or not fantasy value, what am I saying? For our overall value for a Rams player, our best overall player. So now, let's see. And then So Bill also talked about players that could be a first round pick or more, and honestly, it's pretty interesting what he had to say. One of the players that he said that's worth a first round pick and more is Braden Fisk. I was really interested in seeing that because Braden Fisk, he had a good rookie year, but his second year was not as as good. Let me look at this. All right. So in Braden Fisk's 2025 season, he had 542 snaps, which that does sound a lot, but yeah, I don't think he was seen as much on the field. Like if you pay attention closely on Rams games, especially on the defense side, you would mostly see Poona Ford and Kobe Turner. You would see some of Braden Fisk, but not much. That's what I think, because that's how I feel like whenever I saw Rams on defense, I rarely saw Braden Fisk. He had 42 pressures, 3 sacks, 8 QB hits, and 35 hurries. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not as good as his rookie year. So, Bill talking about how Fisk is worth a first round pick and more is honestly not. Like, I love Braden Fisk, but I feel like he's at least worth a second round pick or a third round pick. And before I continue on with this, I want to give again shout out to Bill, the guy who's actually talking about this, and the LA Rams report by Chat Sports. I'm going back and forth between him and this video, or the video that I have right here. So I'm going back and forth with it. So just to make sure I'm not missing anything. And then the next player he talked about was Puka Nacua, our number 1 wide receiver, which honestly, I mean, I think Puka could be worth more than a 1 first round pick, or like maybe 2, but I get it. But then again, I don't think that's should be the case either. At least like a first round pick and maybe a third round pick or second round pick. Maybe, I don't know. But Puka, honestly, he's like one of the best receivers in the league right now. Top 3 in my opinion, or I say top 1 because if you're a Rams fan, you always gotta say top 1 for Puka. But yeah, Puka Nacua. I mean, the season that the season that he had, this season, honestly, it went off the charts. 1,700 yards. He led the league in receptions, and he has most touchdowns he's ever had in a season. And I think Puka had a lot to like prove that this year, this past year, because he was coming off of a year where he got hurt, and I think he had only 900 yards. I think, I don't remember, but it wasn't like a fully healthy season for him. So I think he had a lot to show. Plus, with his contract coming up, because this is his last year of his rookie deal. Puka's gonna have to put in. He had to put in work this past season and then this season as well, and he did it pretty well, even with having good competition. Davante Adams in the tight end room, so Puka overall, I think he's a really great player, even with the off-season issues aside, which I'm pretty sure he did say he feels fixing that, or he fixed that. Honestly, yeah, I agree here that Puka should be listed here as a first round pick and more. Let's see, who was the last player? Let's see, last player was Kobe Turner, which, I mean, honestly, I can agree with that. I wouldn't say. I mean, first round and more sounds a bit too much. I think Kobe Turner could be at least worth like a late round first round pick, maybe throwing a 7th or 6th round pick in there. I don't know, but I mean, Kobe Turner, I could see being a first round pick and more at least, or at least a first round pick. So I'm a bit iffy on Kobe Turner. Braden Fisk, I'm not so sure on that. Puka, I do agree on that. Then at least, so his last group of players for our team that he talked about was at least a first round, like one first round pick, and that's it. Was Trent McDuffie, Matthew Stafford, and Byron Young. So I'm kind of confused on why he had Trent McDuffie here over, because he put Kobe Turner first round and more, but Trent McDuffie, who's a top 5 corner in the league, in my opinion, and I think we gave up like, let me find his trade real quick. We got him for a first round pick, or no, we gave up a first round pick, the 29th overall, a 5th, 6th round pick from 2026, and a 2027 third round pick. We gave up that much for him, and I say it was still worth it because, again, he's like one of the best. He's like a top 5 corner in this league, and yeah, honestly, if I have I'll switch Kobe Turner out for Trent McDuffie, so like swap them places. That's just my opinion overall. Sorry, I'm checking on the clock because I have to go do some outside work with my dad. Sorry for the little distraction there. But next up we have Matthew Stafford, which again is same situation as Trent McDuffie. Matthew Stafford, again, he's been playing really well, like excluding the 2020 season when he got hurt. Stafford has been really good. He's been to the playoffs every single time except for that one year when we went 5-12. Matthew Stafford has been putting up numbers. So even though he's 38, which I get, that makes sense. That should be a concern because since he's getting older. But I still think he still has good more. I think he still has good more years, especially like say if you're a team that's like one QB away from like making a deep playoff push, then that would be worth it. Because if I remember correctly, I think that's what we did when we traded for Stafford in the first place. So we were just a quarterback away from making it to the Super Bowl and winning it. Then lastly is Byron Young, which Byron Young is he has had two times in his career he's had double-digit sacks, which is pretty good. And honestly, I can agree that he's at least a first-round pick. That's the one I do agree with. So, and I think that's about it, right? Yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, overall, Myles Garrett, I agree for him being the number one. Braden Fisk, I don't think he should be worth a first round pick. I'm sorry. I hope Braden Fisk has a really great season and proves me wrong. and I know he will. Let's see. Puka is worth it. Kobe Turner, is iffy on me. I feel like he'd be at least one first round pick. And Sean McDuffie should have been is worth more than the first round pick. Who else? Matthew Stafford is also worth more. And then Byron Young should be at least worth a first round pick. Yeah, at least. So that's the interesting little thing I wanted to add for this video. The video is only 15 minutes long so far. So let's get to this top 10 or this NFL league executive poll thing. Let me find the quarterback one. Okay. Top 10 quarterbacks. All right, top 10 quarterbacks. At number 10, we have Caleb Williams, which coming off of a good season in Chicago with Ben Johnson was pretty good. He did lose DJ Moore to the Bills, but Luther Burden and Rome Odunze should be enough to bounce it out. So I think this is a solid ranking for Williams. I guess they put him there to see if that one season wasn't just a fluke, which makes sense. Okay, so before I continue or go further, I want to say some quarterbacks that I'm surprised are not on this list: Jalen Hurts, Brock Purdy, and Sam Darnold. As much as I don't like the Niners and Seahawks, I do think that they should be on this list, especially seeing some of the quarterbacks on here. Because Sam Darnold, Super Bowl champ. Again, I don't like the Seahawks, but I gotta show respect where it's due. So yeah, that's one of the honorable. That's why I say some of the honorable mention quarterbacks I think that should be on this list. 9 is Jared Goff, which I think he should be rated higher. People are don't know this, but or don't even because they don't look at the stats much, but or they don't think about it much. I don't know how to say that correctly, but there's only 2 quarterbacks that have thrown for 4,000 passing yard seasons back to back: Sam Darnold and Jared Goff. So honestly, I think Jared Goff should have been a little bit higher on this list, in my opinion. He did have a down. I would say not down year. The Lions had a bit of a down year. They didn't make the playoffs, but this upcoming season they have an easy schedule. So I wonder if people are going to call Jared Goff a schedule merchant because the guy who's above him was being called that or was called that this past season. Drake May coming in at 8, which. Honestly, I could see. Wow. Okay. At the end of this list, I am gonna say which positions I would swap out for my top 10, because just for the fun of it. So 8, Drake May. He had a really good season. I think he did it for 4,000 passing yards. He was the front runner for MVP, behind Matthew Stafford, of course. He wasn't gonna win that. No shot. He wasn't gonna win that. But Drake May had a good season with the talent he had, and they made it to the Super Bowl. Honestly, they should not have been at the Super Bowl. They should not have made it, but they did enough just to make it there. So that's still impressive. First year head coach Mike Vrabel did pretty good, even though he has off-season issues. And they added AJ Brown this offseason. Actually, I don't think I should count. I'm not gonna count stuff that the team is doing this offseason, because this is basically. I'm not sure if this is like their ratings for going into the season, but I'll count both. I'll just say both just to not get confused. So at 7 is Justin Herbert, which I know a lot of people are going to be clowning on this because Justin Herbert does not have a lot of success in the playoffs. And honestly, I do feel bad for Justin Herbert because I think he's a good quarterback. He just chokes, just like the guy above him, Dak Prescott, number 6. He plays really well. I'm not gonna take that away from Dak Prescott, but just that playoff, he whenever he gets to the playoffs, he just turns into a different quarterback, which it's unfortunate that he does because Dak's a nice guy. He plays well. He has great talent around him. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens, Jake Ferguson. I was confusing the two. Javonte Williams, who had a good season. And they boosted up their defense this offseason, so Dak could probably put up a good show this year, or a good season this year. At number 5, crazy enough, is Lamar Jackson. crazy and not crazy because he is a good quarterback when healthy. But I think the guys who are above him, I could say are better. Two-time MVP, pretty good at rushing the ball, and he's been getting better at throwing the ball too. So, yeah, not much to say about Lamar. He is a top 5 quarterback at the end of the day. At 4 is Joe Burrow, which I mean, there's gonna be some people out there saying like Joe Burrow shouldn't or should it be like a little bit lower, but when Burrow's healthy, he balls out. Like if you guys remember, like the season before, he almost threw for 5,000 passing yards. He almost led the Bengals to the playoffs with their crappy defense. So, and honestly, I feel like Burrow has like an on and off switch where he has a good season. Next year he gets hurt, then he goes again back to having a great season. And last year he was hurt, so maybe he'll have a good season this year. And they did improve their defense. And according to Joe Burrow himself, he said that this is the best team he's ever been around of, or the best team he's been a part of. My bad. Then at 3, we have Matthew Stafford, which now that I'm hearing the video and I have more time to talk, I say should be number 1. Matthew Stafford, he's been playing pretty well. Like I said, he's been in LA for like 6 years now, I think. I'm pretty sure he's been in here for a bit now. He's been, again, balling out like every single season besides like the 1 year. In 2021, he won the Super Bowl. 2022, he won. He didn't win us anything. We went 5-12, but that wasn't his fault. He got hurt. Cooper Kupp got hurt. Aaron Donald got hurt. Like it wasn't a great season that year. The next year when we got Puka, we went to the playoffs, lost to Detroit barely, and then the year out next we lost to Philly barely because our center couldn't block Jalen Carter, which, man, Jalen Carter is a great tackle, so that's fair. He should have been double teamed, if I'm being honest. Then this past year, we went to the NFC Championship game. We only lost by 4, but I keep hearing a lot of Seahawks fans saying like that we got freaking destroyed. We only lost by 4 points. So, and it, like the Rams were like the only team that gave the Seahawks like actual competition, which it really pains me because that year I lost to Seattle or lost to Philly, those 2 seasons, it felt like we were the only team that gave those teams competition that year because Philly, Packers did they beat them fairly easy. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember that game honestly. I think people barely remember that game. When it comes to that season for the Eagles, the Commanders got destroyed, the Chiefs got destroyed, and we were the closest ones to beating them. And same with this past season, the Seahawks destroyed the Niners in the wild card round, which even though I don't like the Seahawks, I was so happy that happened. I was so happy about that. And then the Patriots easily got freaking destroyed in the Super Bowl. So I thought the NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl. Like, honest to God, it was the Super Bowl. Like, that was the Super Bowl. Once the Seahawks knew that they beat us, or after they won the game, they're like, oh, we're winning the Super Bowl. No doubt. The Patriots stand no chance. Because if you remember, the Patriots in the AFC Championship game went up against Jarrett Stidham, who played poorly. And they only won by 3 points. It was a 10-7 game. I was so disappointed on that game, man. I would have loved to see a Broncos and Seahawks Super Bowl. That would have been a way better performance. But yeah, Matthew Stafford, he's been playing good since he's been here in LA. And I think he should be number 1. But 3 is honestly fair. I'm not going to complain about that. And number 2, we have Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. I don't know why I said that. My stuttering, man. I hate stuttering, but ignore that. Patrick Mahomes comes out at 2. Mahomes did have a down year because he tore his ACL. He's looking pretty good in training camp. I think he's going to come back from injury really well. People like to clown on Mahomes because of the ref thing and all that stuff, but Mahomes, like he's still a really great quarterback. 2-time MVP, multiple super time. Well, I said super time. I meant to say Super Bowl champion. But with all that success that he's had in the past, I think that's why people like give him more credit. But Mahomes does have like I think he's had solid seasons. Let me pull up his stats actually real quick. This is gonna be a long video. I'm just gonna tell you guys this right now. Let me see. Mahomes stats in 2024 or this past season. Okay, so this past season he threw for 3,500 passing yards while getting injured. So that's honestly something to consider. I mean, his touchdown to interception ratio wasn't that good, but I mean, then again, Mahomes had to like throw the ball because they were like they weren't performing as well as they usually do, so he had to like put more into it. 2024, he threw for almost 4,000 passing yards, 26 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, which I know that's bad, and then in his 2023 season, he threw for 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns for 14 picks, which the picks are a little bit high, but I mean he's still putting up solid stats. He's not what he used to be. Like the year before that in 2022 threw for 5,000 passing yards, 2021 4,800, 2024 47, 2019 4,000, and 2018 5,000. He's not putting up those numbers like he usually does, but he's still like playing at least solid, and that's what the Chiefs still keep him or still like have him around because they know he's good, and the Chiefs might be at a comeback season with acquiring Kenneth Walker. So honestly, I still respect Mahomes at number 2, just out of the respect for him. Let's see, back to the then at number 1 we have Josh Allen, which. Man, bro, I feel like, dude, I honestly feel like Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, and Justin Herbert are like siblings, man, or like related cousins because they both know how to choke. But because this past season, this was Josh Allen's like best chance in winning the Super Bowl because Mahomes wasn't in it, Joe Burrow wasn't in it, Lamar Jackson was in the playoffs. But he unfortunately lost to the Broncos, which the Broncos deserved to win that game, I guess, because I mean, they played the better team at the end of the day, or they played like the better team at the end of the day. But even with that playoff, not so much playoff success, he's a really good quarterback. With what he has on his team, he does pretty well. So I can't take that away from Josh Allen because they're not considering well, most of it they're not considering about the accolades. They talk about like how they play. Which I know probably some people are saying like if that's the case, then Mahomes should not be at number 2 from recently who has been performing for the past 3 years. But I still think Mahomes is still 2, in my opinion, or at least up there as top quarterbacks. So if I had to relist this, I'm still gonna give my GOAT number 1. I give Mahomes 2, Allen 3. No, actually no. Mahomes 1. No, hold on. Matthew Stafford 1, Allen 2. No, yeah, Allen 2, Mahomes 3. I'm gonna give Burrow 4. I'm gonna give Jackson 5. Well, actually, I'll give Jackson 4, then Burrow 5 because if either of the guys are healthy, actually no, I'll keep 4 or 5. I'll keep it like that. I'll keep Burrow at 4 and Lamar at 5. We're moving Dak, Justin Herbert down. We're not keeping those guys there. At 6, I'm gonna put actually I don't know. I'll give 6 to oh damn, I honestly I don't know. Wait, hold on. Now I have to think about this. Huh. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I think we'll keep it at that. Actually, yeah. I'll probably move up, Goff, not Goff. I'll probably move up Darnold to, or not Darnold. Jalen Hurts to 6. Then keeps 6. Then keep Sam Darnold at or not Sam Darnold. I'll put Drake at 7. Give Darnold 8. Goff 9. And then keep Williams at 10. I think it's hard to decide honestly because in the regular season they do play good, So I on like Herbert and Dak can play good in the regular season. So it's really hard, honestly. But it is what it is. We'll see what. Let's see. Wide receivers. Here's the wide receivers list. All right. We are hitting 30 minutes, so I got to make this a bit shorter for the rest of them because. All right, so let's go for the bottom. All right, so honorable mention was Malik Neighbors, Mike Evans, Zay Flowers, Tyreek Hill, Drake London, Jameson Williams. Okay, those are some solid ones. At 10, they had Devontae Adams. I mean, coming up, I have the most touchdowns in this past season. It makes sense. I honestly, if he didn't miss the rest of his time or the rest of the, see, he was hurt for some of the games, or for some of the games, he would have had at least like probably 1,000 yards or close to 1,000 yards with more touchdowns. So Devontae was literally a monster in the red zone. So it makes sense why he's at 10. At 9's AJ Brown. I mean, coming off of a disappointing year with the Eagles. I feel like he could bounce back with the Patriots because he's going to get the targets that he's been wanting this whole time. So, and A.J. Brown's still a good big body receiver that can catch the ball when needed to. So, I think he'll still be pretty solid. 8 is Nico Collins. I mean, even with C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins can ball out when he needed to. He just needs the quarterback to perform better. So, he's still pretty solid. 7, George Pickens, coming off of his best season yet. I think Pickens could be a bit higher. I think, or no, actually no. I think this is the best spot because I mean he did have a good year. Don't get me wrong, but let's see if he can maintain that good year or maintain it for this upcoming season, so he can get that contract extension. CeeDee Lamb 6. I mean, that makes sense. He's good. He's still pretty good. I mean, he is coming off his worst statistical season since 2020 because he had an injury, which wasn't his fault. I know this because I have him on Dynasty, and I was so sad when he had to get hurt. So, but I honestly, I think he's still the number one. Even before when Pickens got there, he was balling out as the number one. So I think I can agree him being at 6. Amon-Ra St. Brown at 5. I mean, he's still like a pretty good receiver for where he's at. 5 is pretty good for his ranking. At wide receiver 4, man, what is this? Puka Nacua comes in at 4, which I swear, man, they better not have Jason at number 1. Okay, they don't, but they have Puka at 4 and Jason at 3. Man, Puka. I mean, Puka, like, man. I mean, his second year, I guess it was shadowed by injuries, but overall, he had a really good rookie season and a really good pass season. And I said this before, if Puka did not miss the time he missed, he could have beaten Jason in yards, and he would have gotten the Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, I think they gave it to Jason because, of course, I mean, he had the edge on yards, and because he made the Super Bowl, and basically that. Man. But yeah, Puka Nacua should have been higher. JSN, and plus Puka had more competition. So let's look at JSN's competition. He had, I mean, Cooper Kupp. I still love Cooper Kupp. He still did pretty solid. And then he had Cooper Kupp, Rashid Shaheed, AJ Barner. I mean, those are good. They were good. They were good key contributors for the team. But they were like JSN was like literally clearly the number one. Like this is the rest of the receivers, and JSN was like up here. Puka Nacua had almost the exact same stats as JSN, but Puka had Devontae Adams, who led the league in touchdowns, and our tight end room, who was doing really good for us this past year. So I think Puka Nacua had more competition than JSN did, and still balled out while having that. So honestly, I think Nacua should have been higher than JSN, but I'll give him respect because he won the Super Bowl. Even he didn't do anything in the Super Bowl. It was just the defense. At 2, they have Justin Jefferson, JJ. I mean, Justin Jefferson hasn't been having like the. I mean, he didn't have the good standout season that he usually has because he was playing with J.J. McCarthy, but he still cracked 1,000 yards even with this bad or the bad quarterback playing. But if J.J. can have a good solid quarterback, like I mean, he was balling out with Kirk Cousins. I think he had a good. I think he had 1,300 yards when we had Sam Darnold. If I remember, I don't remember really, but I do hope Jason. Not Jason. What I keep saying JSN, bro. Jason's still stuck in my brain, man. Justin Jefferson, I hope he does have a bounce back year with Kyler Murray. And then at number one, we have Jamar Chase. I mean, what else is there to say? He's a really good receiver. I think I think Jamar Chase has hit 1,000 receiving yards every single year of his career, right? I don't know. Let me check. I'll give me a second. Jamar Chase. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, 1,400 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,200 yards, 1,700 yards, 1,400 yards. Not JS. Oh my God, bro! I'm honestly gonna lose my mind, bro. If I keep saying JSN one time, if I say JSN one more time, I'm gonna slap myself in the face. Jamar Chase has had his lowest season was his second year, which I think. I don't think Burrow was hurt that year. But yeah, like he's averaging at least like to like 1,200 yards or more is per season. Jamar Chase is just an alpha receiver. He's like one. I can agree that he's like top 2 receivers in the league. Obviously, I'm gonna be biased and I have Puka Nacua at 1, but solid ratings. The only thing I would switch is Jason Puka. That's it. That's the only thing I would switch. Other than that, it's pretty solid. And then this video is reaching 40 minutes, and I do have to go outside, guys. So let's see what they have as well. Let's go to linebackers real quick. Linebackers. Let's see. Honorable mentions is Quay Walker, DeMarvin Overshown, Cowboys, Patrick Queen, Demario Davis. Okay, so I'm surprised. Okay, looking at the and then other votes, they had it for honorable mentions. Ernest Jones, former Ram. He should. I think he should have been up here, honestly. But at 10, Devin Lloyd, he did have a great season in Jacksonville. I remember that Chiefs game. He balled out. So, fair. Adrian Cooper, I didn't watch much of Packers last season, but it did say that Packers let Quay Walker walk. So, he might have a good chance to prove himself this year to be a more top linebacker. Nick Bolin, I also didn't watch a lot of the Chiefs, so I couldn't really say on this one. Jordan Brooks, I did see him on the top 100, so that could be also something I talk about for a video later, or whatever video I decide to do. Jordan Brooks, he did have a really good season. I didn't watch Dolphins balls because who's gonna want to watch the Dolphins? Alziel Shalier, that Texans defense had a good run. They carried that team to the playoffs, and so I could see why he's up here. Jack Campbell also had a good year. He appeared on the top 100, so it's pretty good for him. Zach Bond, the Eagles didn't have the season that they usually have, but I guess they still respect him enough here, and he probably had a good season. Yeah, I just didn't watch, because I probably did watch a lot of Eagles ball because of course the Eagles are coming off of a Super Bowl run, but I just didn't pay attention much. Impressive that they have a really shocking one is that they have Carson Schlesinger, the defensive rookie of the year. But he did ball out. He was on the top 100 as well. Another team I didn't watch because a team that doesn't perform really well. Probably I didn't see much of, and plus. Okay, so Roquan Smith coming at 2, respectable. He has 130 tackles for the past 6 seasons, or each of the past 6 seasons, along with Bobby Wagner. So he's still putting up good tackles, and he's like one of the hearts of the Baltimore defense. And then at number 1, they have Fred Warner, even though he missed a bit of a lot of the season last year. When healthy, he's still a really he's still a top linebacker. And sorry again, guys, for the stuttering, and I just can't stop that for some reason. I think the last one I see. I think they went for safety. I see that it says that Kyle Hamilton's #1 safety, but this is on the Ravens posts. So yeah, okay, I'll just call it at there, guys, because I'm also hungry. So, and also I got to go outside and work and help my dad. So, and we're at 40 minutes. Wow. So guys, that is it for today's video. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments. What's something that I could have said differently, which I know there's going to be a lot of stuff that I probably not a lot of you are going to agree with. And yeah, I'll see you guys next one. Peace.